Okay, welcome everybody. We are live now. Right now I don't know where's Roscoe. Hey Roscoe, where did you go? Okay,
Sorry,
so
I'm
this is Roscoe
here.
at the bottom left, and there's Bien on the top left.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so generally I just decided to make this show because I want to invite two of my favorite people on the world right now.
Wow, it's cool.
Yeah, to have a show together. Okay, so first things first. First things first. We're just going to talk about what's currently happening around the world with this COVID situation. So we start with Bien. How's your side, Philippines? How does the COVID being affecting with your daily day to day, maybe work and life, and maybe Mini4?
For the past, I think it's almost 3 months, we've been under quarantine. It's really hard for us to, for our daily life. We have to stay in the house, and you know, we're not able to go out due to ECQ. So
What's
I
the
think
what's ECQ? Sorry.
under quarantine something.
Okay, okay.
I forget. Yeah, so that's why we're not able to meet our friends. Of course, it's really sad for us. We're not able to play Mini4wd trip. All the race has been cancelled
Okay.
since last March.
Since when? January?
More we
February?
declare March
March.
8th.
Okay. Then how's the Indonesia situation also?
Well, actually, the country have implemented some similar rules like all over the country, like Malaysia and probably Philippines and also Singapore. But the situation is, getting, the number of cases getting increased day by day. But as of like 2 days ago or probably yesterday, the government started to like lift up the quarantine to a softer level, so people can start to start going out like a little bit more, a little by little like that.
Softer as it you mean there's reduced restrictions?
Yeah, reduced restriction. Yeah, it's not
Nice.
like as hard just like the previous, when
Previous.
the first corona hits Indonesia like that. That's why I
Okay.
started to go outside, and I was able to run my cars like that to a
Wow.
specific place. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
but
Then
Nice.
but you cannot make a group of more than 5 people in a spot like that.
okay.
Uh,
What does Indonesia call it? Your this lockdown, if you put it that way.
The name is PSBB is just like a large scale of restriction, people restriction like that.
What does he say in Indo?
Zone restriction. Oh, Indonesia, pembatasan sosial berskala besar. Yeah, like that.
Berskala besar. Yeah, berskala
Yeah,
berskala is big scale.
big scale. Yeah,
Yes,
like that.
understand.
Yes, like that.
Okay, so for outside Singapore, we also have the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
Singapore we call it circuit breaker. I don't know why the government call it circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker.
So it's like a soft lockdown if you want to put it that way. People are not allowed to go out. Non-essential services are not allowed to continue. So
Mm.
Mini4 is like one part of the non-essential lah. So no sports activities, no leisure activities. So every amusement parks is closed. Um, People can still travel, but they used to have a very rigid what is that? Rigid social distancing measures in
Uh-huh.
place.
Okay.
So Stargate obviously have to close because they are part of the non-essential services lah, so they cannot operate. They technically can still do deliveries lah. So in other words, we are not like hard lockdown where nobody can do anything. They can
Mm.
they can still do deliveries if you want. And other than that, normal work, I would say regular day to day work, right? If you are one of those that's not essential, unless you are frontline like hospitals, medical services and stuff, right?
Yep.
Then these services need to continue, but those not important ones like maybe say beauty salons, maybe hairdressers,
Mm-hmm.
they have to temporarily be closed down.
All right.
So Mini4 hobby shop, I think there's a new hobby shop in Singapore called the Circuit Hobby. I have not been there personally myself, so eventually if Singapore eases out its restrictions, right, I will have a chance to go there lah and
Okay.
try out cars. So actually my cars has been in lockdown, I would say, for about 3 months, because the last time I played my car was when I met Roscoe in person in back in January.
Back in January. All right.
Yeah, so ever
Okay.
since I tell myself, I'm gonna not do anything on my Instagram, because my Instagram only share things about Mini4. It's not talking about my personal lifestyle. That's why you don't see
Yes.
games there.
Yeah.
But as long as I don't play any Mini4 or I don't build anything, then I don't do anything.
All
I'm
right.
I'm just like on a hard stop myself.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
All
Okay,
right
that's
then.
So other things that you guys been on to recently, is there any things that you do newly? Like for example, for me, I've been playing games a lot lately. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
for Bien, for example, anything that you've been doing now?
been doing creating a new kits again, all over again.
Say again.
I'm just creating new kit for the past
Okay.
month. Nothing else.
Have you tried the VZ chassis yet?
Not yet. I don't have.
Don't
I wasn't able yet to
I
buy
I
it.
had the VZ chassis kit, but I have not have a chance to how say assemble it. Like I said
Mm.
lah, I'm not going to do anything in this period. I'm just telling myself
Not
since
to
I
touch.
cannot play, right, I don't might as well don't do anything for a while lah, for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Then how about Roscoe?
Well, for me, I've been, like addicted to the mini four-wheel drive game.
Oh, you
I've
mean
been
the
playing it.
Japanese game?
Yeah, like daily. The game will announce like the result of the 5 lane race each every like in 4 in the morning, and then 10, and then 4 in the evening, and then at 10. So I will wake up like in 4 o'clock just to see the result in my phone. Oh, it's like that. Okay, and then I go back to sleep again.
You're very addicted
So
with that.
so your results, are they always good or what? I don't know.
Well, sometimes course out, as usual.
Okay.
Sometimes first place is like that.
How's
So I'm just
the how's the
enjoying
physics
it.
of the game? Is it very realistic, close to reality?
Is not the a specific body, for example, like the Tridogger X in the anime, it got a high downforce, right? So the body itself got a specific skills, it's like that. So
Uh,
it's not realistic for 100%, but
Okay.
there are some kind of mini four-wheel drive mechanism in there,
Oh, I
like that.
see. But we still have not seen any English version coming out
Yeah.
or anything like that.
no, I think I'm still waiting for the English version actually.
Because
Maybe I play also.
oh
Oh,
I
you
didn't
play it
I didn't
also?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't try because I see it's Japanese, and I don't know lah. I have too many things to play right now. Recently there's
I
this new
see.
game called Fallout Shelter Online, so now I'm hooked to that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have so many PC games and stuff. Yeah, so basically want to add that, and it's not in English. Then some things I might not want to try. Is holding me back for a while. Once the English version come out, you better tell me.
Right. Okay then.
Okay, so give you a few minutes. Have you started sharing on your profile yet? If not, you can do it right now.
The which one? Your Facebook link,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes. You can go to my Facebook, and then you can just press share because it's public. So
Okay.
so all the viewers right now, I think there's 30 over viewers, 20 over viewers right now. So please like and share if you want. Let
Okay.
everybody all get into this, because we're gonna have a short question and answer later part, right? Not so soon. We give chance to some people to say some things to whoever they want. They can ask me, they can ask Roscoe, they can ask Bien, yeah, anything. But we get to that in a while later. So
Right.
you
Done.
guys ready?
I've shared it to my wall.
Okay, Bien, you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Anytime.
Let's real game.
short question and answer later part, not so soon.
Oops,
I'm hearing myself.
me too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. So let's get on to why we are here right now, because I just want to ask a few things lah to my friends.
Sure.
Okay, I don't see you as racist. I see you as friends. So I miss going overseas lah. I miss going because by right I'm supposed to be in Indonesia this year for the Graha anniversary.
Same
Yeah.
here. I was invited with Jay Gong.
Yeah, so
I was
we're
going to
supposed to be there, and then we missed the Taiwan Asia Challenge. Obviously, we're supposed to be
Yes.
there also,
me
but
too.
we but we couldn't go, so everything was put on hold. Hey, but I heard Japan still continue on with their J Cup. I'm not sure. Is
Yeah.
it true?
They will start on, I think, on July.
They will
Um,
reach the race around July.
Yes, on July. They will begin. I think the J Cup will begin at July, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. You should confirm it again.
okay,
Mm.
just some comments. I said shout out to Hyper Throttle. Hyper Throttle, I think from
Ah, you.
That's him.
okay. Please shout out to Su Buko T Timo watching from Los Angeles. I
Don't say
don't know.
that again. Don't repeat that again. They're
Okay.
crazy.
Okay. What is this? Pakit Hindi po Tagalog ang language. What is that supposed to mean?
Why not? We're not speaking Tagalog.
Okay, I give you chance. Now you address to your fans.
They're crazy.
Another guy say, Mr. Yusri, set up like a gamer. Yeah, sorry, bro. I'm just addicted to lights and bling bling, like I said earlier. So this is my current setup. Can change lights if you want. Let me just change to red. Okay, how's red? Okay, I like purple. Purple is nice. Let me see other things interesting. Okay, so sorry guys. We're just going to say that we give some chance for question and answers later in the show. But right now we have our own set of questions to ask for each other. Okay.
Sure.
Right.
So
Sure.
first things first, I want to ask Roscoe. So
Yes.
recently you've
Please.
been into MA chases.
Yeah.
I've seen you talk about your MA chases and say you something like that. Because actually, right, we, as in me lah, personally, when I was a newbie, right, the first few people I saw was Roscoe channel. You know? Okay, so his first few setups was actually MA chases. So I got interested in that setup. But eventually he skewed away and do MS, and then recently he came back to MA. So can you please share with us about your MA system and what makes you like it?
So okay, actually, when I got back in this hobby again around 2014 and 15, I used Super 2 chassis with the Astute Buddy back when I was playing. I visited Malaysia. I used that chassis, but then after I got back to Indonesia, I started uh, studying more about Mini 4-wheel drive, and then I bought the red Neo Falcon Spatial, the red MA chassis
Yeah, the
with
red
the
one.
yellow cover. And when that's the first MA I built, and when I tried following the instruction while putting on the gear cover and then just click just like that, and I was like, oh my god, this is very easy. Because one of the most complicated things in a single shaft machine is the transmission, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
if you
Right.
don't reinforce them in a good way, then they will get broke very easily,
Mm.
especially when you use like power dash, sprint dash, and more a powerful motor like that.
Mm.
So that's when I start going into the MA. I sold all of the Super 2 chassis. I've determined to use this MA. And the thing that, probably this could be an inspiration for other racers to use the chassis they like, because there was one I still remember up until this day. I don't remember who was that guy, but I was like playing alone in a hobby shop, in a big track like that, using my MA, and my MA kept going out of the course, course out multiple times. I couldn't find the proper setup, and suddenly he approached me and then, hey bro, you shouldn't use that chassis in Indonesia. The only chassis that can compete in Indonesia is only Super 2 chassis. And I was like, oh, okay. I think he's more senior racers
mm,
than me. I didn't remember who's that guy, but
mm,
it really struck me. And from that point, I was like, no, I will use this chassis and I will bring it to the top. So I was like very determined to use MA chassis. So, and after a couple of years, probably at 2016, there was a big event in Indonesia that called Cruise Cup, CROOZ Cup, and it's like a Japan Cup in a
mhm,
smaller scale.
mhm,
They held it in Jakarta, in Bandung, and some other region.
mhm,
And then at that race, I'm the throughout the season in 2016 to 2017,
mhm.
I'm the only pro chassis user that made to the podium at the third place in Jakarta region.
With
So
MHSs.
with MA chassis,
Yes, nice. That is the
that's
point.
that's the point. That's the exclamation point. And since then, people start asking me like, "Hey, how did you do that? How to use MA chassis?" And the pro series start to build up, and people start looking at, "Oh, I think MA chassis got the kind of potential like that." So that's the story of me and my MA chassis.
But you recently moved away from the MA, then you came back. So tell us about that also.
Yeah, I always like go back and forth, because making MS will take some time, right?
Mhm,
Because I usually use some kind of the file to make it very precise, and it will take times. But making MA, you can just like you can go wild like that. So if my MS is broken and I need some cards to play, right? So
mm,
I
mm,
will switch back to MA. And when I
mm.
have the mood again to build another MS, then I will build the MS chassis like that.
Okay, okay, nice.
So that's it. All right.
Mhm.
Okay, so moving on.
Okay, moving on. So actually, this is my turn. I want to ask something big actually to Bien.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so basically, uh, there are lots of Philippines racer that reached up to me, messaged me directly and said,
Mm.
yeah, they told me that the Mini4wd draft in Philippines like had changed significantly over the past 3 and 4 years, like from the domination of the old school Super FM chassis to the more into like Japanese style of machine. Like I kind of wondered because in Indonesia, it's really hard to change something. Back in the days where Super 2 was really dominating the mini four draft world in Indonesia, and you guys really can make it happen. It's just like probably the last 3 years ago, I still see lots of racers using Super FM, right, around 3 years, but
Yeah.
now like most of the racers are using MS and all this stuff. How how did you guys made those changes happen? I
Mm.
think you are a part of it, you right? Some kind of movement or something.
No, I was actually I just came back playing Mini 4 wheeler in way back in 2017. So
Okay.
I've been absent for almost a decade, I think. My last I played Tamiya around 2000, way back 1997, 2003, I think. If I'm
Okay.
So after that years, I don't know what is the trend in the scene and in here in the Philippines. Like they are when I came back, they're more into CFM, which is the
Yeah.
SFMA,
Mhm,
SFM,
mhm,
carbon FM chassis. They have this kind of different setup. It's a hammer lantern, or
Yes.
sometimes they use body front lantern and body lantern. And until such time, they use hard cowl
mm, mm,
before
Yes. Yes.
hard cowl,
The
and they put it into the lantern. And after that, they use already right now they're using polycarbonate.
mm,
So they keep
mm,
improving the current the old fashioned, not really old fashioned, but still they're still keep innovating
mhm,
the CFM scene. But when the J Cup came in here in with 2017 also,
mhm.
I was amazed with the setup. It's really advanced. It's very different, unique. So kind of a bit challenging for me because I don't know where should I start to create
ah,
this setup. I
But
don't know.
what?
okay.
So I came up. I watched the YouTube, and I came up. I watching your YouTube, Roscoe. Yeah. Back then, I was into rigid setup. I love SFM. I'm
Yes.
a broken guy again.
Ah,
So
yes.
after that, I use MA chassis, which is the DCR rigid setup. So the transition a week, months, every month, I create another mini 4-wheel drive. So I don't know
Okay.
why, because I love creating and building mini 4-wheel drive. So when the first time I joined the competition here in the Philippines, I create 1 week before the race. I create the MS chassis.
Ah,
You won't believe,
one
yeah.
week before the race.
Yes, I think 1 week or 2 weeks before the race. So
I
I
Alright.
took
not
3 or 4 months,
but my first edition of MS chassis is not really perfect. It's just only basic setup. No, I only have pivot. I don't have any special functions on the rear setup and
Okay.
and front lantern.
Mm.
All
So
right.
after that, I reached the quarters. It's really fast. I think I use Mac Dash during that
Okay.
time. And then my brake in still ongoing. I'm still improving my brake in process and my method in the motor. So after that, I remember way back in November 2018. So I saw one of your video. It's a Japro.
Mm.
Ah, okay. Oh,
Oh, Japro.
Japro Lantern
Okay.
system. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I'm really I see the differences between it's look like a F1 race.
Yeah.
So what I did I reviewed your old videos. What have you had exposed with the Ojara Pro? So I came up to stick to Ojara Pro setup.
Yep.
After that, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a long way to go, right?
Yeah.
You have improved even you told me that you've improved the system, like reinforcing the plastic part like
Yes.
that, right? So it's really awesome. So actually I also learned the setup from the Oja Pro website first. And then I saw, Shige, he's a well-known racer with the similar setup like I did in my video. So actually those two guys are my role model. So
Yeah.
actually, you're just copying. The skills is not from me; it's from
Mm.
them. I just happen to understand a bit about Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Okay.
continue.
Okay. That's my question. Okay, Yusri.
Mm.
This is the question I gathered from my different racers here in the Philippines.
Okay.
Front outward system is this reliable compared to private AT system? What can you say about that?
Okay. There's a back story about that, how it
Okay.
happened in the first place. So in 2017, one of my teammate won in local race to represent Singapore to the World Challenge in 2017 in Japan. So the top three, right? He's the champion. So he said, okay, I want to go. The second and the third place guy didn't want to go. So Stargate opened up the slots for people who wants to go. So my friend insisted on me to go at that point because I've influenced him lah in the way in he built his machines.
Oh,
So we went together with another guy named David. I'm not sure if you recognize him, but we three of us we went. So the place that we went in Japan right before the World Challenge, right, is called Riba Labo.
oh,
Oh,
So
driver labo.
Driver
Okay.
Labo. So
Oh yeah.
at Driver Labo, right, we were actually trying to find out more about the FL system.
Mm-hmm.
And then the owner said FL no good. Like that, he said. So we were like confused. If FL is no good, then what do you play? You know? So he showed me a machine that uses double anchor, front and rear. And that was the first time I saw a double anchor system. Actually, I have my machine here.
wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a front anchor. Let me cover my face. Okay, there's a front anchor
that's
and a rear anchor. Okay, so this build is like the first time I saw this kind of build, where they build a double anchor on the entry bar, and then introduced me this setup. And then we look at their current layout that they set, right? It's actually a jump two. So jump two is like there's a slope with two straights minimum,
mm-hmm.
okay, and a lane changer and a very simple bang lah. So we tell them, can you show us how the car runs? because I'm a new person. I'm like very skeptical how this setup even works in the first place. You know how it plays in this kind of layout. Then he said, okay, come and we demo. Then he put, and I was like amazed at it. I was like, my eyes open big, big. You know, I like, is this even real? Like,
Wow.
there's some chickens and there's a lane changer. In fact, so it got me interested in the setup. So what happened next is we asked them for permission to take apart the machine and so-called show us what's the internals lah. Maybe there's anything special in the internals. And then they show us and say, no, nothing special in the suspension. It's normal suspension. Last time I think they did normal cut, not those inner spring type. No, it's a normal suspension. Put the spring into the leg of the suspension.
Yes.
Regular style. So then I see, okay, if it's nothing special about the suspension, then it could be something special about the bumper system. So at that time they call it the anchor system. So I took a look at the front and then I said, can I take photo? They said, go ahead. So of that trip, I only took 4 photos in total. 4 images, but because of the language barrier, right, I couldn't ask what parts do you use or what's the size, anything special to take note of. No, more like I'm just guessing what part he used. I take all my parts, right, and then just attach myself and try to come up with something. So basically, if you say whether is this reliable or not, right, that exact setup that I copied, I brought to Batam for the first time. First time, that was in the late 2017 December. So Batam owner asked me, what kind of track do you want to play? I say, can you set a jump 2? I asked the same thing. Can you set a jump 2 track and with a high bang? So he just set a track based on, I feel what this build is great for. And then that race, right, because they played like some kind of rumble system where you race with each other all the time, and then if you win, you get 1 ticket for it. So you get 1 ticket for the next round, 1 ticket for the next round.
Yep.
So the first round, right, I'm like one of those who had the most number of tickets. So this system, for the first time ever, a virgin setup, full anchor, and I had one of the most tickets. So I kind of like surprised at myself. I'm like, how can this be? It feels very flimsy. It feels very brittle. If you ask me lah, for the first time, it doesn't look reliable. If your question is say whether is it reliable, no, it doesn't look reliable. It's not perfect. If that's the word, it's not perfect, but it works for that particular track where it's a jump 2 and it's a high bank setup. So how would I say? If you ask me whether is it long lasting, if that's another case, right? I broke the stem, the anchor point on that race day. That first time I raced there. So it broke, which means I would say it's not designed to last. It's designed to race, yes, but it's not designed to last. It will probably help you a lot with the track layout, because the track that is set up is like there's a mountain, so it's like 2 slopes up and 2 slopes down. So it's like when you jump, then very hard impact. And that setup, that anchor setup helped me a lot of time, which is how I managed to consistently keep getting tickets. So ultimately, right, this setup helped me until the finals, where I finally won second for the first time on a brand new setup. So okay, another thing is I brought the same setup to Japan in another time. I think in 2018 I went to Japan again, but for leisure, not for race. So I brought my machine. I went to Force Labo, which is in Yokohama. Okay, so that year Japan is playing this what's this thing? Rocking Straight, where you have this carpet cover, I think, on the side track. I ran the anchor system, full anchor system. It cannot pass that obstacle
because of the rock.
The front part will get stuck. the rear part is perfect. The rear part has a lot
Mhm.
of space to move, but the front part will not get cleared of the obstacle. So
Yes.
it's a pros and cons. If your track, right, if your track you need a lot of stability, especially on a very high land, yes, a full anchor system might work. You can convert to AT systems if you want. And there's a
Mm.
recent CAT system which it looks very very impressive because it can fold itself up and something like that.
Yep.
But I was saying, if the track is about
Hmm.
this kind of technical landings, very dangerous technical landings, right? Full anchor is my way to go. I just like this setup so much that when I first time saw it in Japan, I just had to keep one, and that's why I have one with me right now.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
So that's it, guys. If you want to use the front anchor system, it's up to you.
Yes. So if
Yeah.
it breaks, it's also
Okay.
up to you.
Yeah. Remember, rotten straight. Whenever if it's returned in the 5 lane scene again in the Philippines, okay, think about it. The option.
Yeah.
But then the front anchor system, right, also have brought podium to one of my friend who raced in Indonesia. I think I can't remember. I think it's 2018 also. 2018 or 2019. Should be not this year lah, obviously. So he ran that machine, that track
Mhm.
layout. If I remember, there's some high drops. So it's like go up, then there's a very high drop. So that machine, right, the full anchor also lasted until the finals. He was second place.
Nice. I also have a
Yeah.
friend, AJ Linchanko, the second runner up, first runner up
I,
last year in Asia Challenge. He also using front anchor now.
yes. That's
Uh,
why I like this setup. I
What's
like this
up,
setup.
AJ? And Mark Anthony Gana. Sorry. Nice one, friend.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So let me see.
Okay, next.
I want to ask Ben.
Okay.
Okay, so you see that time when you win, right? Can you just show
Mm.
us your win, please?
Um,
I like to see your plug.
a block of champ.
Nice. So there,
Okay.
guys, you see, this is the actual champion of the Asia Challenge 2019 Philippines.
Yes.
Actually, backstory, yeah. I actually disturbed a lot of Philippines people, including one. At that time, I didn't know it was your girlfriend.
Mm.
So we had to give stickers. We were just giving around stickers, and then one of them is happened to be a girl, right? And then
Uh,
I just disturbed and say, did you build your machine? And say, oh no, my friend helped me build. I was like thinking, Then at the end of the day, I realized, shit, that is Ben's girlfriend. Okay, fine.
Yusry.
Oops, my wife is watching, but she's fine. She's fine.
I think my girlfriend also is watching, by the way. And the stickers still have it, and she's still keeping it.
Nice, nice. Okay, so I
Yeah.
was saying, you did mention because of this race, right?
Mm.
You are influenced heavily by Roscoe. In fact,
Mm.
you said he helped you inspire to build a machine for you to play for that track. So,
Yeah.
maybe can you just share how you actually prepare that machine? What did you look out for, and how do you say prepare for that actual day?
So back then, as I said in November, last 2018 November, so when Roscoe uploaded that video, I was so amazed with the uniqueness of the Ojapro lantern. So through that, so I decided to use the Ojapro setup until I reached the TMAC event. So I think it's one month before the race, I prepared the kit for this kit.
Okay.
Actually, there's a lot of revision before I made to this final setup,
Mhm.
as you can see. So I changed a lot of things before, like chassis, because I destroyed the chassis for the first chassis of this kit. So
Okay.
after 1 month, 2 weeks before the race, I still have struggled with my kit because it's running slow because of there's a lot of factors, by the way. I used the sandwich type of wheel set. I used the low bounce before, sandwich mixed with low friction and super hard sandwich, but rear and front. So
Okay.
I don't know what happened during the race, during the practice day. So the night before the race, I reassemble again my kit. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
cumulative. I changed a lot. The rollers, the settings, the clearance between of the rear tail and the front, because I use 3 mm in the front,
Okay.
Okay.
3 mm plate. So I struggled with the clearance because of the pink brake. It's really what do you call this, sticky with the racetrack. So 1 month. So what I did in 1 month, I always reviewing and watching videos of Roscoe with the road to Philippines.
Okay. Okay.
He covered a course out. We did when I saw his course out with the, I think with the DG curve, I guess.
Yes, yes.
So what I
Oh, there's a
yeah,
controversial with that. We will get back to
that's
that.
a controversial in the future.
Yes, yeah,
So
we
what I
get back to that.
did, okay, yeah. I enhanced the pivot, the front pivot, with the 3 layers of 2 FRPs and one high grade. So that's
Okay.
one.
Okay.
So I think it will help me. It helps me to reduce or take it to control the impact when approaching the DG curve.
Mm, mm.
So I think that's one. It really helps me with your videos. Of course, thank you, Roscoe, again.
No problem, bro.
Yeah, because of the video, I really a bit master the proper setup.
The
Okay.
system. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should thanks to Shige and Oja Pro
Yeah,
also.
Shige,
Yeah.
Shige last year in Japan.
Yes.
The preparation, what I did, I prepared the new motors before the race. I break in a Hyper Dash 3. I used 371 gear.
Mm.
And I think this is a new trim tire. Before the race, I woke up in the morning, I trim a trim tire before the race. So I made a 24.5 mm super hard in the rear and front 24.5 mm low friction in the front. So what I did during the race, I focused on the brake. So since I'm having a hard time, the first time that I made it, practice this in the race, it went course out, even during that race day.
Okay.
So I don't know what
Okay, okay.
happened. It's magical. It's a magic. It won't until
Is Lady Luck smiling?
yeah, lady luck. Yeah. I
So
remember usually.
24.5 millimeter tires.
Diameter.
It's the same in the front and the rear side.
Yes, correct.
Exactly. I
Then how about
see.
your clearance levels? I mean, nobody had access to test out the track because I understand the track was like brand new, laid out on one day.
Yes,
You see,
actually.
Yes.
yeah. So how you even prepare for that?
Well, they did. And actually, it's our first time also to experience the 5 lanes wood track.
Okay,
What we
Yeah.
have, we only have in our local hobby store. We only have 3 lanes plastic
okay,
racetrack. So I don't know what will be what it's the surface or the texture of the wood track. So what I did, I just only practice in the plastic track. So on that race, I just used my plastic bank approach to check the clearance. That's what I did during that.
I see.
So there are no other special tools or what?
Yeah.
No, we don't use that.
I see.
But you were right because 5 lanes needs low friction tires and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's really appropriate setup. So it's really matched with the 5 lane.
That's some good tips, guys. Please learn from the champ. Don't learn from me.
That's great. Okay. All right. So it's my turn. Well, actually, I got this question a lot from my viewers in Indonesia. So,
Okay.
lots of them, start playing mini four-wheel drive these days, and most of them asked me, "I'm a newbie. I'm really new in this mini four-wheel drive world. So, what kind of chassis should I pick? Single shaft or double shaft? And then why?" I
Uh,
want to hear the answers from actually both of you guys. So just give me enlighten me.
Okay, I'll start first. I'll start first.
All right.
Okay, if a newbie comes to me now and say, I see you build Mini 4, I also want to get into the fun. What chassis should I build and why? Obviously. So I will just say pick up the MA. Because first, there's a lot of good reviews and tutorials by Roscoe channel. You can check that out on his MA. That's the most important thing about it. That's the most important thing. But anyway, the other thing is MA has a lot of modern, I would say modern holes for mounting parts, and it makes it easy to understand the whole concept quickly, rather than trying to solve the single shaft problem, which is
Mm-hmm.
usually comes from the
Yes,
propeller shaft. Because I'm not saying single shaft is bad, but I'm just saying that you get more frustrated with single shaft because of the propeller shaft.
yes,
So
agree.
if you are prepared to fix the propeller shaft problem, okay, pick any single shaft. I would recommend any FM, like recently FMA, or maybe you can play AR, because AR is quite interesting to play. But if you say I'm a newbie now and I want to try now, get the MA, because firstly it's easy to build, it's very simple, one unibody system. You can basically, it's not difficult to remove the motor and stuff.
Yes.
Probably the only thing that most veteran racers don't like about the MA is it's bulky. It just feels bulky. It's
Yeah.
very bulky. It's very thick. It's very heavy. But if you are trying to get into this game and then trying to understand what's Mini4 all about, right? The MA is a very, very good starting point. As those
Yes.
mentioned, I mentioned, it's a very easy to maintain. It's a very easy modern setup. Very easy to mount, and it's very easy to pick up. So you'll see results faster, and that will get you more interested to try other things. So that's my take on
Agree.
it. So my choice for newbies is MA.
Okay. What about you, Bien?
Me?
Your answer.
I don't have any specific recommendation. No. For me, as long you can, anything, you can pick anything of the kits. Like for example, you can pick FMA, SFMA, S2, Super X, regardless of the kit. As long you can do any, as long you can you can set it up in a good way that it will not course out and it will run smoothly. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But of course,
Okay.
I will be biased. I will be using MS.
Uh, but
Yeah.
that's not for
If
the
It's
you
okay.
beginners.
if you want to to waste a lot of money, go to MS already. If you want
Okay.
Wait.
am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, agree, agree. Yeah, because I also actually I've been giving the same recommendation just like Yusri,
Mm,
but I've also told them that if you want more challenge, like you're on a starting point, right? You're just beginning to play Mini4wd, but you want more challenge. You want a higher difficulty levels on your starting point. Then you should pick MS. But you should know that it will you will need to think more about the smoothness of the unit's movement,
yes,
the
correct.
screws and everything.
But
I already
then,
give you the options.
sorry, but then that's not fair. The MS was not designed for suspension in the first place.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, yes,
So if you're
correct.
telling a new person, hey, play MS, pick MS, just because of suspension, that's totally not a very, I would say, very fair advantage, because only MS can make suspension, other than of course MA
Yeah.
with some special modifications. But we're talking about the general masses, right? They just pick
Yes.
MS because of this one reason. They don't have any other reasons to provide. Not like, say, okay, if you ask me what's my favorite chassis, right, I would say FMB. I used to play AR, then I reverse it become ARFM. That was one of my first
Uh-huh.
few favorite machines, and that was one of my first few chases that I won with. So my first podium was actually on ARFM. So
I see.
the thing is, back then, right, I was challenging myself. I don't want to be the normal people. I don't want to play Super FM. Everybody is playing Super FM. I don't want to play Super FM. Everybody is playing Super 2. I don't want to play Super 2. I was just telling that myself. So I say, what people don't want to play, yeah? People don't want to play AR. Okay, I'm going to pick up the AR. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
look at
That's
AR, and then
good.
happens to be the world champion Umiji won with AR FM. That
Yeah, with
even
the
that even burns up my inspiration. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make a AR FM. And true enough, it wasn't it wasn't difficult. It's challenging, yes, but it was a very fruitful experience for that chassis. But that based on my how to say, based on my technical level at that time, I was a newbie, and you pick an AR, you're going to face a lot of hurdles. So
Yes.
I broke my AR immediately after I put the car. That was like the when I just finished this brand new sparkling car, right? I just put on the track, it broke. And then I was like, cannot be. The gear just broke on its own. So there must be
Yeah.
something that I didn't understand about the system. So that helps me try to develop more understanding on the machine itself. So that's how I get into this over time. And then, of course, after a while, you just want to try every other chassis in the world and just see what you can do with it. But
Sure.
if it's anything that I liked, I personally like FM.
Mm.
Sorry to Super FM users, I don't really like Super FM because of the
Okay.
mounting setup. But
Why?
because of the mounting setup. But
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, right, I'm totally fine with FMA and every other unique styles, which Super 2 FM, maybe ARFM, for instance.
Cool. Same here. I'm really fan of front motor actually. When I came back to the scene of Tamiya, in my four-wheel drive, my first setup is the Broken Gagan, which is SFN, and until such time they released the FME version of Broken
Mm,
Gagan, I still have it. That's why I think I have 15 kits here in in my room.
okay.
I never once I made this one kit, I'll just if ever I don't want to use it again, I will just keep it. So
Ah, I
that's
see.
why. So it grows faster. I think I have so many kits right now. I
I
can stop.
usually I usually dismantle every kit I've made and use it for the new one, so I don't keep my old machines.
I have a bad habit of keep buying new stuff lah. So I think over 100 over kits right now unfinished. So it's just crazy. But I've slowed down lah ever since this virus issue, right? So
Mm,
the new thing that I want to try now is the VZ chassis. That's
Ah,
why without track, right, it doesn't inspire me to pick it up and try to build it. So
yeah,
hopefully the virus goes away, then I can start making the VZ chassis, and then
yeah.
I will feel for myself like how it plays.
All right.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I think it's me.
Yes.
Okay. My question is to Roscoe. Okay,
Right.
Roscoe. What do you prefer to your setup? Most of your videos I see you change a lot. Sometimes you use anchor system, sometimes you use sliding and rear, sometimes
Yes.
which is would you prefer? Let's say for a newbie and
A
starting up an
newbie.
advanced setup. Okay, what would you
Okay.
suggest?
So for newbies, I actually just like you want to understand more about the basic mechanism of the Mini4wd drives, and you don't want to tweak or getting troubled with some detailed stuff. You still want to know the basics, right? So I always recommend them to use a rigid setup,
Right.
and then you should learn your way through. Like, you should know when to use the anchor system or the sliding damper. Usually I saw most of the racers in Japan in YouTube, and also with discussion from my friends. Sliding damper will like boost your cornering speed, and it will go faster, and you
Okay.
can handle digital curve, but you cannot face the rocking straight with uh, sliding damper.
Great.
At that time, also, the anchor system have the ability to adapt when the rear side of the car, lands in wrong side of the track, and it will goes in,
Yeah.
and yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So viewers, like that, it will save your car multiple times. So it will gives your car like nine life, like a cat.
Okay.
Until what lap?
All
Last lap
right.
is the deadly part.
Yeah.
Getting up.
So that's it. But now, the popular setup for the rear side is still anchor, but
Yeah.
some of them start using, the AT sliding damper.
Mm.
It has the 80 movement with
Mm.
the sliding damper mechanism. But for the last year champion
Mm.
Umiji used the
Use
anchor
anchor slide.
sliding damper. So
Damper.
it's really, oh my god, he used
That's-
the anchor and put the sliding mechanism also in the anchor system. So it's really,
I never tried that. I haven't
yeah,
tried
it's
because
really crazy.
I already have a sliding part in my anchor.
Yeah, okay.
My sliding,
Let
I
me
can.
let me
Umiji
take
put
my
the springs in the middle, right?
Yes,
Umiji
correct.
put the springs in the middle of the anchor system, so it's really sophisticated. I don't know how to do that.
sorry. Let me just take mine. I
You
have
need
one.
you need proxon.
Can you see?
Proxon, like
So this
Ah, that one.
this
That
is
one.
sliding
Yusri
and
has one.
anchor. Sliding and anchor.
That one.
you see that? You see?
Umiji used that kind of anchor. You can see it.
Sorry, I don't
Wow.
think you can see. Cover my face first.
Ah,
That,
there you go.
there
You
you
can
go.
see the spring in the middle.
Yeah. So actually, I saw this anchor setup right by vac tuners. They mass produced this design. Yeah, I was like thinking, is it even possible to make a sliding with anchor at the rear?
Hmm.
So I just took any random parts and tried to make one, and this is what I came up with. And it surprisingly works. The only problem I don't like is if I'm using 19 rollers, like in this case, right?
Yep.
My guard is too big, so my movement is too small. So it's like maybe
Ah, I
See,
see.
maybe it's like 1 because it's being blocked by this brake setup.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
So maybe if I'm used to 13 right, then my guard will be smaller. Then I could have a little bit more travel, which I'm going to
Okay.
try in my next revision. So this machine itself, I had it brought to Indo when I met Roscoe that time, and
Uh-huh.
it was fine. It was fine. It does works as I hoped it would. So with I wanted to have like a double sliding design. So the front had sliding and then the rear has sliding. But I
Mhm.
like the anchor so much that I just have to put anchor together. Although people say if you put sliding, just pure sliding, then I feel like you don't have you don't have to be so critical about what exactly you want to try to build. If you want to try, okay, say anchor and a sliding, and if you think you can have best of both worlds, why not just build it? Nobody is
yes.
stopping
Mhm.
you.
Yes. Bro, can you just both of you? I want to see the difference between the slide movement. You can you put your car like this and push the sliding like this?
You want the front?
I,
I only have the
no,
front.
no. Usually turn your car. Turn.
Rear?
Yeah, like yeah. I want to see it. Just do it.
Sorry, mine is very
Ah,
short.
I see. Yeah. BN's yeah, BN's got longer distance, right?
Yeah,
Correct, correct.
so
Just like
because it's
13.
being blocked by the brake.
Ah, okay.
Definitely. But I use
13 millimeter.
13 millimeter roller bushing on the between the underguard and the
Okay, okay.
top plate. So that's why it's
Okay. All
really
right.
hard.
It's good. Thank you guys. Thank you.
This is
Okay then.
that's all.
Okay, so
Okay.
we give chance to the viewers to say what they want to ask about. Sorry, we didn't check all the messages because we were too busy engrossed with our discussion here. Let me just scroll back. I think I saw something just now. Let me just see.
Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Mm,
Yeah, you guys can ask question now.
yeah, you guys can ask. Okay, I saw one. Bayu Dwi. Let me just pin this comment. Okay,
Mhm.
Bayu Dwi said, how about front gimmick? Anchor 80, anchor
Okay.
plus
Yeah,
80
this
plus
one.
pivot plus sliding. We give chance to the viewers to
Okay.
say what they want to Sorry, ask. I'm hearing myself again. Okay, so Bayu Dwi say, how about front gimmick? Anchor plus 80 plus pivot plus sliding. Is that possible to build? Okay, I don't say it's not impossible. It's just going to be bulky. If you want to put sorry, if you want to put anchor and then you want to put 80 at the same time, it just don't make sense because both of them are trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah, agree.
So you
Okay.
choose either one. Either you choose the 80 system or you choose the anchor system.
Mhm.
So now next is whether you can do sliding on both. Yes, you can, because
Of
I
course.
already showed that you can actually do a sliding on
Yes.
an anchor.
Yep.
And then the last thing, maybe let me see, pivot. Can you pivot? Yes, you can, with some exceptions. You can't use the pivot with the fully cow version. You could do the ice cream stick, which is a angled ice cream stick, and
Ah,
pivot
yeah.
that.
Yes.
That is possible. So if you want
Yep.
to mix an anchor with a sliding and a pivot, possible. If you want to put an 80
Yes.
and a sliding and a pivot, that's also possible. But if you want to
Yes.
mix both 80 and Anchor, I don't think that's possible. It just don't make sense.
Yeah, it's possible as long as you have enough money to experiment. It will be really hard to make that, right?
That's correct. So if you're using high grade parts, of course, it will burn a lot of money. Like me, like me.
Okay, let's see. A lot of funny questions. Like example, does Tamiya has a vaccine? Vaccine of what, bro? I don't. By Renault Carino. So I don't know.
I don't know. Uh,
Okay, let me see. Michael Fool. He say, how many Jawa does Bien have? Jowa. How many Jowa does Bien have?
they have
What's
one. It means girlfriend.
Ah,
Jowa. So I learned something new. What's the word for boyfriend then?
Hmm?
What's the word for boyfriend? If Jowa is girlfriend, then Jowa is what's the word for boyfriend? Is that word?
Same. Same.
It's the same. I see. So it means partner rather than a girlfriend or boyfriend.
okay. All right.
And let me see
Okay
any
then.
other things people say. Yes, you can ask. If you want to ask, we will be around for another few minutes. Then
Yes.
after that, we're gonna say bye bye. So here's a
Yes.
chance to ask what you want. So let me just scroll through and see if you can find any other questions to ask. Sorry, some of them are in.
So while you three are looking for questions, I want to ask some questions too.
Okay, we give chance for them to develop some questions. Okay, guys,
Yes. While we are discussing.
you can just
So
ask.
how both of you guys, you three have told me about the method to make an angled brake plate in the front side. You know, the easy method by putting some washer, right? Right, you three,
Yeah,
in
correct.
the front.
Yep.
What about you, BN?
What I
To make the angled brake, like, you know, like this one. Yeah, I can't. The lighting is really bad. You
you mean
just,
the front?
yeah, the front, to avoid the bank, you know, to clear the bank faster,
Yes.
but
Mm.
it still can braking at the slope section.
So I put an angle like I think it's 4 to 5. I think 5 degrees angle.
You add an angle, you mean?
Yeah.
Ah, to create an upward angle from
Uh,
your underplate.
yes. What I did, use some. I create this one manual filing. Uh,
I see. So you shape the plate so you can just stick the brake and it will create the same shape as the plate, right?
yes, that's right.
I see. So you just, like, you know, sticking it to a file and running it like that, you know, one at a time like this, and it will
Or
get,
sometimes I put the plate on the table, then I make a file that has a sanding,
sandpaper on it. All right. Okay.
which is more easier. But
Yes.
that the one that you're saying is much better for best method that you have used this one and just grind all
Yep.
the
All right.
yep.
Okay then.
Okay, we have a question from Harvey Chua. So, question
Hey,
for
Harry.
Roscoe. What is your
What?
favorite build so far?
Yeah,
Well,
nice,
well,
nice.
my favorite build. So actually, I think the best machine that I've ever built is the Purple Avante, which
Do
has
you
the
have
same
it
setup.
now?
Just no, I don't have it.
Okay, okay.
But I think I can show you on the Instagram. You know, the purple one. It's, I think, the one that BN copied the setup.
Hmm.
The Purple Avante Mark II Avante. This one you can see it. I think I will show it on over the.
Ah, that one.
This one.
That's my favorite kit of
So,
yours.
I think
this is your copy build, right? You try to copy this build.
Wait, I have the first version of my pajama.
Okay,
Wait,
okay.
I think that's the most coolest machine I've ever had up
yeah.
until now.
Until
And
now, I'm still watching your old videos with that. Wait, I think I still have it. I think you should still checking all the questions from comments.
Yeah, we wait for you to. We have some other questions. So,
yeah, just go over it.
yeah. Okay, so from actually my friend Norris Esa, he said, Roscoe, how's your quest to regulate indoor rules? Okay, that's for Roscoe, and then for me is Singapore Mini4 scene gonna progress to bigger things or as it is? Okay,
I will
Roscoe, answer
attempt.
your rulings first.
Oh, really? Okay. So this one is really tough, actually. As you probably some of you already watched my video, right? I tried to implement and I tried that one.
Yeah,
We'll see BN scarf.
Up, up,
They,
up, up.
oh, oh, that's my first example.
okay. I think you've
Yeah,
sent me this one, right?
I never watched this one.
I
I
see.
see. Okay,
That's
okay.
the first prototype. Nice.
Prototype, yeah,
All right.
prototype. A lot of prototype.
Okay, so actually, as you all know, Graha Tamiya doesn't implement the official rules of Mini4wd drive. So
Okay,
I've
yeah.
tried my best. I've
Mm-mm.
gathered some crowds like Tanto and my small groups actually for people who wants to use or wants Graha Tamiya to implement official rules. But I think I'm too tired to do that now.
Why? Why? What's the
Okay,
you
problem?
know,
okay.
right now I'm kind of busy with my my study. I'm taking another degree and
Mm-mm.
also while working, and I think I won't waste more energy to take care of this stuff again.
Okay.
I think that's it. Now let Yusri answer the question.
Okay, so he said, wait, let me get back to the question. He said how the Singapore scene is going to progress. Okay, as a matter of fact, right, Singapore Mini4 scene has changed a lot in the past few years. How I said that is because, okay, I just quote a simple example. Back in 2016, I started in 2016, but I didn't manage to play, I think. If I recall correctly, 2016 is the year some of my, I would say, old birds, they went to Hong Kong. I think 2016 is Hong Kong. I'm not too sure about it. Somebody correct me on that. But the time when they went to Hong Kong, right, Singapore is still playing those hard cow with the what's that, the lantern, I forgot what is it called, cage, the cage lantern, the one slammed on the top.
Yes, yes,
So
I know that.
the Hong Kong and some other countries, they already move on into the body lantern systems. But there's a problem with that because we are stuck within our local rules where we are not allowed to build body lanterns.
Mm,
Even though body lanterns was allowed, but the Singapore rules say no, you're not allowed to make body lanterns because it's actually because of the how to say, the bad people the bad eggs of the community. So what happened is, what I heard was, these people, they profiteer from the scene by buying all those fake parts, those CNC fake parts to make this lantern. Back then, I think to make your own lantern without tools is a bit tricky, so people resort to
mm,
buying stuff, and
yeah,
everyone looks the same. So Singapore just had to put a blanket statement and say no, you cannot make
yeah.
body damper systems because of this problem. You see, so eventually I had to come up with a, I wouldn't say I influenced the decision for them to change. More like I slowly get along with the management bit by bit, and I tell them we cannot stay like this forever. It's not healthy for the community.
Mhm.
And then they say we will consider your request. And true enough, next year they lifted up that rules, and then we were allowed to make body lantern system, and we were all very happy about that. So that's only just for the body damper system. Then there's also rulings on the tires. In the
Yeah.
past, tires could be made with multiple colors and multiple materials, but Singapore said no, you cannot even make your step tires, which is one piece of tire but you make into two diameters. It's not allowed. It's
Oh,
strange, but it's not allowed. So we were backward when we went. I mean, when the old birds went for the challenge in Hong Kong, then everybody else were looking at Singapore and wondering why are they not moving forward.
I see.
So we were like,
okay.
yeah, I feel like we were doing. I think like as a newbie, right? I feel like we could have been better. We could have do more things. So fast forward to sometime about 2 years ago, where Japan lifted the animated rollers ruling.
Mhm.
So again, we had a discussion with the management. So we told the management, hey, Tamiya officially removed the limitation for the dampers and the rollers. What are you going to do about it? The same answer they give me. We're going to think about it. Because I'm not sure if they don't want me to be specifically say okay because I say then they do. No, I think
Ah,
they are as the agent, they have the rights to implement
yeah,
such rules. So I say it's fine because even if you don't allow that, right, please allow step tires. At that time step tires was still not allowed. So I think they had some minor discussion among themselves and they say, okay, next year we're going to allow open rules according to Japan spec, as in Japanese rules, which is what Roscoe is trying to make to
yeah,
get the Indonesia to follow
Yes,
accordingly to the
great.
Japanese set of rules. Not
yeah,
because we want to follow them, more like we want to play the same game or same playing field
yeah.
as them. That's
Exactly.
that's what we're trying to achieve lah.
Yep.
How cool.
Agree.
Okay, let's see any other questions. Okay, Pedro Linchanko. Sorry if I mentioned your name wrongly. How much money have you used on Tamiya? Okay, we start with Bien. How much money have you spent on Tamiya?
How much?
Roughly lah, just give a rough estimate.
Goodness. I think if it's in dollar, I think roughly. Which is, let's say I will compute. Wait,
Me too. Now I'm using the conversion from rupiah to US dollar.
wait.
Yeah, just give a rough number lah. Just give a rough number. How much you feel? Because I think this question is meant for people who want to start, and I already gave them a lot of answers in the past, so I'm going to give my answer in a while, but I want to hear from you two first.
For me, wait. Okay, I got it. I think if I convert it to USD, like 10, it's 10 million, around 10 million rupiah. So it's around 700 USD, I guess.
In total? In total
Really?
or just your
No,
machine?
no. I think, based on how I built my car, because sometimes when I got bored with my car, I sold them again. to
Oh,
build.
Okay.
nice,
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
So
I
that's
don't know. I'm really attached with my car, so I don't want to sell them.
Hey,
I
you have
really
the
want
same. You have
to
the
sell
same
them.
mindset as me. I have almost all my cars with me.
So if you will ask me how much I spend the money for the past 3 years, I have 3 years since 2017. I think it roughly more than 4,000 US dollar already.
I
okay.
think you have about the same ballpark as me. It's just that I spend more on what do you call that? Expendables. Expendables is things like batteries, for example.
Okay, okay.
So the
Yeah.
expendables might take my 1/3 of the expenses. So if yours is about 4,000, maybe mine is about 6,000. I don't know. But this is roughly how much I spent over the 4 years. So
Actually, it's still
Oh,
growing. It's still growing up to
yeah,
yeah,
now.
yeah.
but right now it's good time for me to stop, you
Even
know?
even though I sell some of my kits, some of my parts, but eventually when Tamiya releasing another new parts, I'm still buying it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Right
guess
now, they're releasing a 2020 plates. I'm still waiting for that and the gold dar aluminum.
if you talking about since the first time I played Mini4wd, I think it will be around on the same amount of
For the
money.
pa- for 3 years. No.
So for newbies, right? Please don't
Uh,
get alarmed. This is normal. This is perfectly normal.
for the
But
newbies,
as
I suggest stick to FRP for the meantime until such time you get to the point that you already, you have already a perfect idea what will be your next kit. That's the time that you will upgrade to high grade parts.
Yeah,
If you want
agree.
more strong, to be more like be more strong plates, high grade can do.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
for newbies, right, I believe that if they venture into the path of collectors, right, they're going to follow the
Yes,
same track as everybody else. Because everything also they want to buy, which is the
Yeah.
bad thing.
correct.
Yeah. But if you say I just want to play, I want to get along with fun people, you want to get along in the play, enjoy your day, as a hobby,
Yes.
I don't think you will spend so much because you need to find the right people and buy the right parts. The most mistake that the newbies make, I feel like, is they buy a lot of wrong parts.
Yes,
They buy
I
parts that
did
they
that.
probably will never ever use.
Yes, I did that.
No offense, but I also have the same problem. You know,
Yeah, we all have.
That's the problem with all, I mean, enthusiasts, I think.
Yeah,
yeah. So we want to avoid that as much as possible, right? We don't want people to spend unnecessarily. So
yeah, agree.
we want them to enjoy at the same time we don't want them to waste money. So if they don't want to if they don't want to waste money, they must go and find the right people. So
Yes.
of course they must find the people who's willing to help them so and enjoy the game together. Because if you ask me, freebies I give them all the time. It's just a matter whether you ask me the right things or not, or whether is it the right time you when you approach me. Because
Roscoe, you know what to do. I just send you one kit to use.
Yeah, give me one limited edition kit.
I'm going to lock them away in my treasure box.
Me too, Yusry.
Okay.
I'll go there to Singapore maybe next year. It's already, the pandemic's already gone. I'll go there. I'll get one kit
Oh
from you.
yeah, speaking of that, the LED light, do you try, Roscoe? Because I'm not sure when I
Oh,
give
I still
away.
keep it. I want to use it at the right moment.
Wow.
It's still on the package. I don't want to touch it.
Okay.
The LED usually gave me, the Japanese, Shige used that lamp, the very small lamp
Light.
that you can install in the car.
I
I
think
still haven't used it. I still kept it very nicely, Yusri. It's a
Okay.
memento.
Okay, this Marlon Batak say which has better speed for cornering? Front anchor plus anchor, means double anchor, or a pivot front and a rear anchor? Which one do you feel has better speed for cornering?
Yusri
So
should answer that one.
okay, I'm just going to say quickly, double anchor cornering speed sucks. Okay, the reason is because right, they move too much when they enter a corner.
Okay.
The thing is, they are not as smooth as a sliding. They can move, but they're not as smooth as a sliding. So their movement is like jerking.
Mm.
You know, when they enter, right, it's a jerk. Then they exit is a ease out. So that jerk cause the movement to somehow create a bit of a stop, like a jerk
Okay,
movement.
okay.
So I did observe that during my reviews videos lah. When I sometimes I will take video and just observe how the car move, right. It gets significantly worse at a chicken. You can see how much it jerks. So if you ask me, a pivot is so much better. First things first, right? The pivot doesn't even move at a normal cornering. It will just
Correct.
get around the corners.
Yes, yes.
So
As long you have, say, but pivot has six round, I think six round, six rounds of
three rubbers o-ring.
three wraps of o-ring. it will it will run smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only time the pivot wants to even move, right, is when you hit a very hard
Corner.
impact or a hard corner.
Yes,
Digital
exactly.
That's the only time it will move.
Or digital curve or rocking straights or
straight.
hard impact when you do want to do the air cornering, right?
Yes.
It will absorb the impact and it will make your car enter the track.
Correct.
Yes.
So I think we answered that. So if you ask me which is faster, obviously the pivot and the anchor will always be faster than a double anchor.
All
But
right.
again, this depends on the layout. Like I say, there's no such thing as one car fits all. You
Agree.
have to try the machine that suits the layout.
Yes.
Yes. Correct.
Or-
Okay, another question by Elmer Joseph C. Goboy. So you say, what is the toughest racetrack obstacle encountered by each of you and how you solve it? Okay, I start first lah.
All right.
The
Hmm.
most annoying track that I've ever encountered is actually in the first time Geraha Tabia opened. The first time they host the Asia Challenge. There was an obstacle. We call it the carpet.
Oh, the
Because
red one.
yeah, there's a carpet. There's a
Yeah, yeah. All right, I remember
So
it.
it's like a doremi. I'm not sure if you all know what's doremi. Doremi is like single jumps
Step.
but in
Yes.
steps. But there's carpet right after that, under that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So basically, right, we were all unprepared for it, because everybody is thinking, "Hey, maybe Indonesian play a lot of long jump because back then Indonesian is famous for playing a lot of
Yes.
long jump tracks." Then we were prepared, maybe they're going to play long jump lah. We just come with a long jump car. The problem is, no, they did not. They come with a super technical track. Then we got caught off guard. So if you ask me, did we solve it? No, I did not solve it. In fact, I gave up on it. But we did ask around some of my old friends, those that has been along for at least 10 over years in the game, and they said Singapore played that kind of obstacle before in the past.
Mm,
So we asked them, so how do you encounter that? How do you even counter that kind of situation? Then they say you have to use Tamiya tape and tape the whole of your bottom chassis to make a very flat surface. And we didn't
mm,
think about that because at that time when we went there, we were all new people, I would say. All the new people with very limited experience. So I couldn't replicate that track anyway. Nobody wants to try again the carpet.
yeah.
And then in fact, all those that win, right, the winners of that day, they they came up with this idea where they had to put car catcher
Yeah, I remember
as a
that.
guard. So a
Okay.
full car catcher as a guard in front and the rear to make it as smooth as possible so they
Yes.
can get around that carpet problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what about you? What's the most challenging track and how you solve it?
Bien, please, Bien.
Me? Okay. Challenging track. I think there's a challenge track because it's the first. That was the first time that we encountered to play. I mean, to experience the 5 lanes track. I think I'm having a hard time during the practice. I think what they call it is bouncing straight. It's ABB.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Okay.
Bouncing
I'm correct,
straight.
if I'm not mistaken. Because when I in the practice, I saw it my car doesn't run fast on that panel. So I struggled with the brakes. So that's why I'm saying I focus on brakes during that.
Okay.
I, my clearance is not really for that track because it's 3 mm during that time, 3 mm, and my my brake sponge that I use, I think it's red or pink with 1 millimeter only. I only use 1 millimeter in
Okay.
that race. So what I did during the practice day, when I saw and experienced that, uh, after that day, what I did, I changed my tires. I think it's 20. I think 20. I was using 24.5 also, but the sandwich it doesn't call this. It doesn't run in the wood truck faster. The surface of the wood truck. I think it's a rough surface.
Yes, the wood track is right.
But the problem with my tire is it's not compatible with the track during that time. So what I changed the tires to low friction with 24 and super hard all the way in the rear. So in the practice in the race day, I was surprised that my car ran fast in that panel. I don't know why. Because maybe because of the tires also, including the clearance of the front of the underplate. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one. And other one is I think the Eiger, the mounting. I think they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The mounted.
Eiger, then tabletop, then curb. That's the most
Mm,
challenging part of the racetrack
mm,
that we had because we never had experienced that kind of because we have 3 lanes big 3 lanes track, but I think they have a different degrees. So I think
Yes.
the 5 lanes is different and the 3 lanes different. So some sort of in getting the right clearance, right sponge, the most challenging part of that event or that kind of layout for us as a
Mm-hmm.
Philippines. I think that one, just to avoid that, of course, changing all the tires and the clearance. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Well, as for me, probably.
It was good.
Most of the racers also facing the same trouble, and I can also see the question in the comment section
Yeah.
is actually the lane changer.
Okay.
The
Lane change.
normal lane changer, 3 lane lane changer, actually is always makes my heart beat so fast when my car is entering the lane changer, because there are so many factors. So Yusri have tried to pass the lane changer in Indonesia, and it's really different. You can say it's kind of different, probably because of the materials used in the track. Also,
Mm.
we have a different types or brand used in Indonesia. So most of them are not Tamiya brand, and because most of the lane changer in Indonesia are already like uh, littered littered
Mm.
with lubricants, lots of lubricants, and
Wow.
the wall is starting to get
Man,
wobbly. Yeah, it becomes wobbly. So most of the racers in Indonesia will sand the edge of the rollers to make it rougher, so it will give more grip to the track wall, right? And sometimes most of them will go to the extent to sharpen the ringless roller.
Mm.
oh,
So
it's
if
allowed.
you it's illegal actually.
We don't do that here
Yeah.
in
So
actually.
it's totally illegal if you're talking about Tamiya official rules, but most of them are doing that. As for
Wow.
me, I usually use this ringless type rollers,
No
plastic ring
friction.
rollers, 5 degree angles only, and I still want to keep, my characteristic of the car is high speed cornering. I want to keep that style. Okay, so
Same, same.
so that's why if the layout is a long straight and then a regular lane changer, my most of the time my car will die. Okay, so I think that's the most difficult one.
So
Actually,
actually,
same,
this question
same
was
here.
asked by Bayu Dui. He said he has a problem with the lane changer, even though he ran a 12 degree and he will not still pass. So, is there any tips from you to suggest how to improve on this? Because I know Roscoe had mentioned he did
Ah,
some
yes.
modifications to the rollers. What about you, Bin? What would you, if you face this kind of obstacle, what would you try first, and why do you try that?
Which one? The
Lane
like lane,
changer, lane
lane
Yeah,
changer.
lane
changer.
changer.
Actually, that's my weakness for the 3 lanes.
Okay,
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
really. My car sometimes it runs fast, sometimes it runs slow. I don't know. Sometimes my car is very moody when it comes to 3 lanes. So with approaching that with approaching the lane changer, sometimes I course out. Most of the time, I don't
Yes.
know why. What I did from the previous kit that I had, since I use only 4 degrees,
okay,
I only
Okay.
use 4 degrees most of the time. And it turns out, I updated my angles to 6 degree,
okay,
5.5 to 6 degree. Right now, even without brakes, it it passed the lane changer already.
okay,
Okay.
I think that one. And I use only stabilizer, not for the.
Oh, okay. No rollers. Okay.
I don't
Stabilizer on the top.
on the top. Yes, I don't. I don't. Some most of the people here use 13 mm on the top, or sometimes
Yes.
the stabilizer 13, 11. I think 11, 10 or 11 diameter. So, but this is the only I use for 3 lanes.
All right.
Stabilizer. So,
okay. So
Okay.
if it was me, I would say angle is one thing,
yes,
but gimmick is another thing. Gimmick is
Yes.
those things that you make the car to move. I mean the bumper to move. So it could be sliding, it could be pivot, it could
but
be anchor. And gimmicks, right, is something that actually slowed down I want to say slow. It would improve the stability because the lane changer is a very quick succession movement. No, it's not like chicken. I mean, I would say it's like chicken because chicken, if you move straight, right, you will hit the track first, then you hit another track at the same time. So it has the same impact as a lane changer. Except the only good thing about lane changer is it's one way, which means you
on
always attack it on the right side and then you slam it on the left side. So
Yes.
with this strategy in mind, right, as long as you hit a normal lane changer, your strategy is always the same. Think of how to slow down going in the left side, which
Approaching the
is
left side.
turning to the left, which means your right rollers should impact most of that entering corner. But I feel right, my higher chances of success comes from the smaller tires. When you have a lower CG, right, overall, the impact of the downforce is also higher. That's how I observe so far. When I try to use it on a large diameter, because I do occasionally run on large diameter machines, they
Mm-hmm.
don't run as well as those my medium diameter, especially we talk about lane changes.
Mm.
So if you want to try, I mean, if you have difficulty in lane changes, you can try one of the two things that I usually do. One is widen your tires. So if you have a wider tire, right, I would say your CG is wider also. It throws off a little bit
Oh
of the
yeah,
weight to the side.
it will be stable compared to
All
narrow, right?
narrow.
Yeah,
All
so you will
narrow.
throw your weight a little bit to the side. So you can try
Yeah.
a wider tires. The second thing is you can try to add a O-ring on the right side of the rollers. So like example, I have my car here.
Okay.
Sorry, let's
Oh,
see.
I see.
Or the 12-13 rubber
So this is the
ring
right
roller.
side. So there's a O-ring here. So this side don't
Yeah.
have, but this I
Okay.
have. So
Uh,
the rubber O-ring, right, helps to grip onto the track. So actually, if you notice properly, right, the car has a tendency to want to move out right before it goes to the left side. What you
Yes.
want
Yes.
is to bring it as down as possible
because it
during
will
the
follow
end.
the wall.
Yes,
Yes.
on the right side of
Yes.
the wall. So this is how I feel. This is how I analyze the track. So if you having difficulty, you can try one of these two things. Widen your tires. Secondly, use a 13 double roller 13 with a O ring on the right side only. This should help improve a little bit on the
Lane.
lane changer. But of course, you need a little bit of gimmicks. You could use a pivot if you want, or you could use a sliding if you want. It doesn't really matter. But I've realized that if you run on a rigid setup, right, especially at the front, we're not talking about the rear, we're talking about the front. A rigid setup when attacking a lane changer is super hard. It would like knock. So you will like
Yeah.
knock. So that's the chances of it to flip out at that point. So use a gimmick at the front, use a O-ring, and also try to widen the tires a little bit. You can just add maybe 3 mm or something just to increase a little bit of the weight to the side. That should help you.
We should try that Roscoe.
Yes. Yeah. I think
Put
I
the
need
pressure.
to. We have to change our mindset.
Yes.
Corner need to be fast, but still need to pass through the lane changer safe.
That's our weakness actually in our sometimes we've been practicing for almost 2 to 3 years in our racing center, but we're not able to pass the lane changer. So what we did, we from Hyper Dash Pro, we down the motor into light dash or torque tune for
Yeah.
able to pass
Me
the.
too.
I
All
always tell
right then.
myself, I cannot clear the lane changer with hyper dash, then I should quit. So most of the time I will pass with a hyper dash with some strategies involved.
Yeah.
Because I feel hyper dash is like the middle ground. So if you can't do anything with the hyper dash, then I think something is wrong lah. That's for me lah.
Yeah.
All
Even
Okay.
right then.
even light dash actually. Most of the time when we were doing a practice with my master Ian De La Cruz, we always using light dash before we move up to hyper dash pro, because when if your light dash run fast and it went course out, there's something wrong with your kit even
Mm,
in light dash.
I agree.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, correct, right. So
All
before
right.
we move into hyper dash, mac dash, we should pass the light dash motor before
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. That's the easy approach to that. The
Correct.
easier approach.
Okay.
Okay.
We
I think.
have a request for a shout out for Bien. Do you know Carlo Nogoy?
Hmm?
So Carlo Nogoy. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name
Carlo
correctly.
Noguez is one of the representative in UAE in the World Cup Challenge last year.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see. Any other
What's up, Carlo
things?
Nogoy?
Let's see if any other questions. Uh, Random asked me, can teach how to BTO. Okay, BTO is an exclusive term for Indonesia. So what BTO means best time overall, means the
Yeah.
fastest timing for time attack. So I'm not sure because I have my fair share of getting TQ. We call it TQ in Singapore, time top qualifier. So
Qualifier.
the thing about BTO or top qualifiers, right? What I notice is a trend. What I mean is they can only get it once and they don't get it again.
Yeah,
So
agree.
if you ask me how to keep getting the top right all the time, right, then you better pray to Lady Luck all the time because that's the only way for you to get the top.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Ryan Cristobal. He said, "What's your ultimate goal as a Tamiya Mini 4 racer?" So we start with Ben. What do you want to achieve? What's your ultimate goal with playing in this game?
Yeah, I think this is good for the last question, the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Each of us. Last question. Let's go, Bien.
To play again in World Challenge for the upcoming years, of course. I want to win. Sorry. I want
Okay.
to
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to win, like I
Right.
want or place or champion in World Challenge. So maybe in Asia Challenge also. That's my ultimate goal for these hobbies.
Okay. Yusri.
My goal is simple. Actually, I just want to travel, meet a lot of different people, share a lot of different ideas, because ultimately it's just a car inside a track. The whole hobby is the same. So everybody speak a common language. It's all about Mini 4. So what I try to achieve is to create, to create that kind of familyness into the game. We want this to be like a very fun hobby. But
Yeah.
if ultimately, right, for me personally, right, how to make it even more epic, right, is to have different people from different cultures. That will make it more interesting.
Yes.
So ultimately, that's how I want my life in a Mini 4 world, Mini 4 racer. So how I feel like I want more people from different backgrounds to share different ideas, but they all come together as one big family.
Yeah. That's great.
That's great, cool.
Well, as for me, it's similar actually to Yusri, but first, actually, I just want to, I don't know until when I'm going to play this Mini 4wd drive. So I want to make it, YouTube is one of the way to keep my Mini 4wd drive as a diary. So at one time I want to look back again, I just open my YouTube channel and just watch it. Okay. So I want to be this Mini 4wd drive stuff be a great storybook, some kind of chapter in my life where I can meet, you guys like from other countries. Like when I visited Malaysia, I met Ikas and also everyone there, and also I was really happy back then. I can meet someone that I never met them. They just know me through YouTube, but when I arrived there, they were so warm. Just like when Yusri came, we meet together. We ate, at Block M Plaza.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. It's about Mini 4 with Rough, but more than that, it's like a
Friendship.
new
Uh,
friendship. Yeah,
friendship.
that's the word, bro.
Uh,
Friendship that's created to from this Mini 4 with Rough stuff. So I guess that's the ultimate goal to visit. Probably, I really want to visit Philippines,
you should.
Singapore, also Japan for sure. So I still have lots of bucket list actually. So I think that's it for
Maybe
me.
we all should organize a trip together somewhere.
Yeah,
Like
Soon.
maybe we go Hong Kong together, go Japan together.
that would be
Just
good.
going around, but in the spirit of Mini 4. So
Yes.
that should be fun. Okay,
All right.
guys. If you have nothing else to say, we are gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. I'm just going to say first things first. Thank you to Ben and Roscoe for joining me today, because actually it's difficult on everybody's part, especially during these difficult times. So I just want to have a small mini platform for where we can have our ideas being talked about, being shared together, and we are not even staying in the same country, but the ideas are the same. We just have the love for this sport, and that's what I want to promote by bringing a lot of different people together and have different ideas, and it's just sharing. Because I always say there's no right or wrong in this game. If you win, then your card is the right one. If you don't win, then you have to work on it and figure out what's wrong. Oops,
Yes.
Ben is dead. So uh is anyway, Roscoe, when you add anything on?
I think that's enough. I think it's already good. All of the talk, it's really great. Thank
Yes.
you
Yes. Thank
for
you.
spending your time with us, Yusri and Bien. Thank you for preparing this, and all first for Yusri as the host. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should see each other soon, maybe later.
When this thing is over.
Hopefully,
And
yes.
now Ben has become EOS webcam. So Ben, anything you want to say to your fans? I think we still have surprisingly there's a lot of people watching, So is there anything you want to
Wait.
say last before we wrap this up?
I think my camera is low bat already.
my
Ah,
camera
okay.
my
That's
camera
why.
is still going
Wait, I'll
strong.
check it.
Good timing. All right.
Help me. There, this one. I'll just change to webcam of my computer.
Yeah,
For
can. No problem.
again. So okay.
Okay.
Okay, for me, I think thank you for hosting. And by the way, Yusri, for this one, the idea with this, or we unite us we in different, if it's a long distance, we communicate to each other in these videos. We share each other. That's what I really like in this on this videos or vlog. So I think I'm very thankful with that. And I met Roscoe live.
Yeah. I purposely had to pair you both together because
uh,
you did mention he influenced your builds.
yes,
So
correct.
yeah.
It's my virtual master, Roscoe. I have my own master here. Which is I can mention. I will mention Ian De La Cruz, of course, and Kenny Kwan. They are all my mentors, and Gerald. Something in Noob Works. If Gerald's watching, Gerald, what's up? Like,
Okay. Any last
we
shout
should
outs? Let me
we
see.
should
Anybody
set
want to
some
say
schedules
anything?
like this one again. Maybe we can share different setups, which more on the setup because I think more a lot of people want to learn something about our cars, our vehicle.
Yes.
I think we need
Okay. Next time.
we can do it by next time. We can share it.
Yeah, I will try
Okay.
to find better camera.
Yeah, sure. And I will charge my camera soon for a long lasting video.
All right then. Thank you
Okay, thank
guys.
you
Thank you
guys.
guys.
Thank you for
Bye
watching. Thank
bye.
you for everyone
Bye.
Thank
who's
you guys,
watching.
everyone. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Okay,
See
thank
you
you,
guys
and
next
see you guys
time.
next time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.